Well, there's no doubt that this is a game which holds a special place in the minds of the footballing folk in this part of the world. Expectations rising, evidently the crowd hoping to be treated to a special contest. It is the perfect backdrop for the players to walk out to. And nobody in this atmosphere can hide from the truth about how much this game matters. The scene overflows with colour and passion. We have already started here. And that's been intercepted.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
De Jong, great chance! It's loose and there's a race for the ball.
Yeah, that's top defending and preventing him turning, which can open up many possibilities.
And that interception was most necessary.
That was well played, well stopped.
Just the keeper to Rummenigge! It's in! And that really is so impressive. I doubt very much that this was in the script. Pedri, quarter of an hour played. Diaz. Cross deflected over the goal line for a corner. Al Hilal with their first corner, the first in the game for either side actually. Climbs up big! And now they can clear their lines. And now a sudden chance to counter. Owen. Well, they've got it back in a hurry. He is through here. Al Hilal upping the intensity here, having lost possession.
Yeah, it's actually very good pressing. They want it back as quickly as they can get it, and they're hunting in packs to do just that.
Good to watch.
It really is. It's rugged and robust, but it still needs plenty of intelligence.
And Owen! It's in! Hot knife through butter. They have done it again. And he stuck it away as if laser guided.
He weighed up the landscape, Peter, and he stuck it bang in the corner.
Things starting to look very comfortable.
Well, with this kind of authority, Peter, why not push on and totally kill this off?
Mohamed Salah.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
And here's Mohamed Salah. Hakimi, just like so many of his contemporaries, is proving very good at driving forward. Neuer. Oh, well played. Howson spots it and intercepts. Oh, nicely intercepted. Diaz. And that pass is somewhat less than ideal.
Quality deserted them when they really needed it.
There will be 1 minute at a
To
time.
lift promptly onto that, and that is that. And that'll be the last act of the first half. We'll look back on the first 45 minutes.
Well, it's looking pretty straightforward, Peter. They've got themselves into a very good position, so why dither from here when they can repeat their first half success with another show of strength?
A half of massive entertainment and excitement. A 2-goal margin, yes, but all things still possible. And we are back. A big chance!
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
Howson did well to step in there. That was more than necessary. He's played him through. Well, now here's a good battle, bicep to bicep. Owen! It's wide, but only just.
Oh, and it's such a good effort. And maybe the target really should have been hit.
So, Jim, is that the manager telling the forwards that they must stay forward for now?
Well, I think he just is concentrating on the shape here, and he wants them to press as high as they can and get in the right position to do that collectively.
The attendance for this match
Al
was
Hilal ran themselves into the proverbial
71,898.
cul-de-sac there. Always onto this. Well, the run has been sold a little bit short there.
Look, the game is full of ifs and buts. If only the pass could have completed its journey.
Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Ah, he made it look a bit predictable.
Well, the chip pass hasn't quite come off. Isak, Pedri. He's had it taken off him.
Yeah, they were looking for a counter-attack.
Mateus. Griezmann. Neither of these two want to come off second best. Isak. Pedri. Isak. That's a little off target. Griezmann. Hernes. Rummenigge. Leading by 2 and the finishing line in sight.
Substitution in progress.
Kimmich. Hernes. Mateus. And he welcomes it in. Oh, that's a key interception. Well seen. Saw that coming.
He read that really well and stopped it.
De Ligt. Son Heung-min. And now the breakaway. Oh, good read.
There will
That's
be 1
great
minute
positioning.
at a
So
time.
good from him.
Well seen. Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Well, don't you just love it when a plan comes together? Victory never in doubt in the mind of the mastermind in all of this. Well, they say football's only a game, but you should try telling this lot.
Hello,
Without
everybody.
a doubt, it is the
Welcome
week's
to today's
most
match.
eagerly awaited contest, a sporting event which has magnificent scenery as its backdrop. It is tribal, and it has aroused the most primal of instincts in so many of us, and we are glad to have you alongside us for it.
Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. If you're just joining us, we are already underway. Messi! And he was there to get a vital touch. Messi is offering a wry smile there.
And it's Griezmann.
Rummenigge!
And that tested the keeper.
It was more possible than probable, and the outcome backed it up, Peter.
Can he get away here? Works it forward. Messi. Rummenigge. Ball's gone out of play. It's a poor throw that, picked off with relative ease. Still goalless at the moment. Rummenigge. Hernes. And here's Owen.
Well, if you're looking for a match winner down there, Peter, we can't ignore Gabriel Batistuta, or Batigol, as he's become known.
Nobody would ignore him.
He has all the attributes, Peter, and the list is too long for me to mention them now. I'll settle on...
Decent hit! Oh, nearly, but nearly is nothing. Gently done. Well, that's beautifully weighted.
And the shot!
And he's done it! And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Yeah, when you're hit on the counter-attack like that, it's like walking into a sucker punch, and they're dazed.
So the first goal of the game.
Well, I think the next 5 to 10 minutes will call for real focus, as the opposition will inevitably react.
Adams cuts it out. And that's been intercepted.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
And it's Messi. Alvarez. Alvarez. And he's gone backward here. Alvarez! It's off target and by quite a way.
Okay, it's come to nothing, but it's a warning of further threat on the break. Okay, being behind at the break isn't ideal, but there's plenty of time to reply.
Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped.
Tottenham with their first corner, the first in the game for either side, actually. And now they can spring out of defence. Griezmann. And he cuts out the supply. Batistuta is onto it in a flash.
At a time.
Well, played right into his path. Batistuta. Oh, such a clever touch. Beckenbauer can get it clear. And the first half is done. Steady, solid, and for now, where they want to be. Just one goal, and they have it. Good effort from both sides. But at half-time, it is 1-0.
Attendees, this is
Yeah, you don't get any points for stating the obvious, Peter, but thankfully this is still very savable. Keep things simple, keep the intensity high, and hope for an early goal. If that happens, it's a game changer.
And we're off again.
Well, I think in these circumstances, it's all about how to adjust the balance of your team. I mean, you want to get back in it as soon as possible, but without leaving yourself too open.
For a moment, you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. Well seen, saw that coming.
He read that really well and stopped it.
It's a sweet ball, that. Rummenigge. Griezmann, very much a man of this moment. That is a great pick out. It's a mighty effort! Loose ball now, and there's a chase on to retrieve it. Goes without saying, that was poor. That's a look and place it forward. Still chasing the game, trailing by one. Onana.
The
It's
attendance
Messi.
for this match was
Sergio, what do you think here?
72,306.
Well, the time has arrived to start taking risks. They may well be happy just to level this.
And he's there to retrieve it. Big chance! They've done it! Two to the good! They have breathing space! One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Look, if you want to be effective on the break, then the key element is always pace. That's what really rips defences apart, and it's difficult to find an answer to it when it's applied like that.
Things starting to look very comfortable.
Yeah, and you have to say that the contrast of moods are very visible now. They really fancy themselves to go and wrap things up.
Tottenham needed that. They really needed it.
Well, that tackle was immense, and so was the relief. The great escape.
And here's Owen. Rummenigge. And it's played forward. And that could set him on his way. Oh no, this does not look good. Now it's Messi. Messi! And more and more and more. And they are pulling clear here. It is a good finish. The odds were against him. Little matter.
Such a well-worked finish. It looked like he was going to be shut down, but he thrives in situations like that.
Substitution on the field. Number 6,
So
Batistuta.
the manager can make a change
Number
for the first time in the game here.
Alvarez.
A case now
Number
of
8,
complete control.
Guardiola. Number 10, Messi.
Still no way through. The defending here is resolute.
David Villa.
Mateus.
Number 9,
No, that was
Mbappe.
never going to make it.
Number 20, Çalhanoğlu.
Mbappe.
Number 19, Ribery.
Well, this does not look promising, Peter. The least they can do is to give the crowd something to cheer about, but that might be difficult from here.
Upamecano gets across to intercept that. He's a sharp little ball here. Mateus. Griezmann. Rummenigge. Now it's Mbappe. The pressing's intense and it's
There will be
paid off.
3 minutes added time.
Nicely aimed pass. Sports official showing that there will be 3 minutes of added time. Ernest. Passing is crisp and sharp. And time is up. Well, that was thrilling. A game of champs and chumps. The winners were so good at times. A side that can and will trouble more or less everyone.
Hello,
So, Jim, how do you reflect on what we've Well, there's no doubt that this is a game which holds a special place in the minds of the footballing folk in this part of the world. Expectations rising, evidently the crowd hoping to be treated to a special contest. It is the perfect backdrop for the players to walk out to. And the matchday noise at this place is truly special. The Rummenigge! Oh, that was no routine save.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
And we have our very first corner. Cleared without hesitation. Well cut out, no margin for error there at all. Indonesia have the chance to go the other way. Well, there was an element of promise insofar as they kept the ball well, but they did very little with it. And here's Owen. Oh, easy pickings there. Wriggles his way through.
It's impossible to ignore the genius that is Andrea Pirlo. He plays a deeper midfield role, but his whole game is designed to spray passes forward.
Just one of a kind.
Yeah, these guys now are almost extinct. All he needs to do is to place this between the goalposts and basically let them attack it.
Climbs up big! Defending of the desperate variety. And it's Van Dijk. And now a sudden chance to counter. Owen. That is a great pick out. Roberto Carlos. David Villa. Mbappe. Can he put it away? They've scored! Perfect placement. The one place the keeper couldn't reach.
He had the whole picture in his head, Peter. He didn't even look at the goalkeeper.
Indonesia have fired themselves in front.
Listen, when it comes to goals, Peter, in this team, he's always the #1 contender, and he's done it again.
We expected better, and so did he.
Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should resort to risk-taking at this stage. There's plenty of time left yet.
Long ball by the goalkeeper. Pinches it off him. Adams. Ernest. He's looking to set free a runner. Oh no, what has happened here? There's the hit! They've done it! And again, they simply do not know what has hit them. One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Look, if you want to be effective on the break, then the key element is always pace. That's what really rips defences apart.
David Villa! And that's what you call inspired goalkeeping.
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure.
Pirlo. And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
No way through there. And it's Owen. And that interception was most necessary.
That's great positioning. So good from him.
Mbappe. He won't be happy with that one.
2 added minutes has been
Mateus.
indicated.
Rummenigge. Oh, that's a key interception. And we've reached half-time. How do you look back on the first 45 minutes?
Well, it's looking pretty straightforward, Peter. They've got themselves into a very good position, so why dither from here when they can repeat their first half success with another show of strength?
And that's the start of another 45 minutes.
Look, before they might get too carried away with thoughts of getting back into the game, they can't afford to slip up and concede another. The next goal becomes crucial. It's the sort of situation that they'll want to capitalise on now.
Couldn't squeeze it through. That was good pressing, forced the error to put an end to it before things could get even more threatening. And it's Owen. Well, they can break here. Pirlo. Mbappe is offering some sort of an apology there.
Yeah, the idea was right. The delivery wasn't. They can revisit that further on.
There's the shot! Loose ball now, and there's a chase on to retrieve it.
Look, they've had their chance to regroup and rethink. Now they've got to stir a revival.
That was good alertness. Ernest. Pirlo. Great ball, and he's in here. And the ball's come loose here. Ernest. And here's Messi. Now, who's going to be first to this? Played out to the right. Beckenbauer did well to stay calm there. Indonesia have their second corner now. Big header! It's got in, and it is an own goal!
That can happen to anyone. It's truly, truly unlucky for him, but it's just the way it is.
Well, there's no doubt that this is a game which holds a special place in the minds of the footballing folk in this part of the world. Expectations rising, evidently the crowd hoping to be treated to a special contest. It is the perfect backdrop for the players to walk out to. Such scenes here, a sea of team colours, songs ringing down from the stands. The tone is set for the 90 minutes ahead. Well, if you did just miss it, we are up and running already. And Owen! Decent enough try.
Well, he's furious with himself, but at least the boss is applauding his effort then.
And that is expertly dealt with. Done delicately. Adams getting this one clear. And he's only too happy to take that back.
Well, as box office names go, Peter, David Beckham is right up there.
Yeah, he gets the turnstiles clicking, that's for sure, but footballing qualities?
Well, I think any defence is going to be nervous because of the sheer quality he can produce.
Especially over a dead ball.
Yeah, not just that. I think in open play he can deliver for fun too.
Beckenbauer gets across to intercept that. Oh, that's well spotted. Costa Corta. No change to the score, 0-0 it remains. Now it's Owen. Yildiz producing a good steal there, showing a good level of alertness. Griezmann. Rummenigge! He would have been quick to recover this. De Bruyne. He won't be happy with that one. Griezmann. And here's Owen. Now there's a fine ball. Koundé. Nicely worked. I think that's offside. Yes, it is. Koundé, nicely weighted ball. Adams kept aware, and it is reclaimed easily. Always onto this. Another chance from a corner. And we have our very first corner. And that should get the job done. Corner number 2 then. And that has been cleared. Can he put it away? And now a sudden chance to counter. And it's Owen. Beckenbauer promptly onto that, and that is that.
Well, the moans and groans from the stands now are very audible.
Now it's Owen. Rummenigge is flagged offside. Well played. That has snuffed out the danger.
2 added minutes
Dealt with
has been
nicely by
indicated.
the defence. Oh, he's bustling through here. And there is the half-time whistle. But it has been a half largely of could-haves and should-haves. Perhaps the more impatient amongst the supporters will feel they're overdue a goal, but it's certainly not for the want of trying, so nothing to show as yet. At the break, it's 0-0. So we are still where we were at the beginning. It is 0-0 at the break. Rummenigge! Goal!
Dependability is one thing, and he brings that to his game. But that sort of dynamism is another attribute he's blessed with, and it's revealed on a regular basis too. Superb. I was impressed with both the movement and the pass, both causing lots of problems for that defence.
So we have the first goal, or whatever the manager's. Owen, shot a goal! Oh, in for the pieces! Really well taken goal. A 2-goal cushion, and it's looking safe. Some heroic goalkeeping, but even that couldn't save them this time.
Yeah, his instinct told him that the keeper would struggle to cope with that, so top marks for him following up. I think it's really sharp play, it was well read, and he was a little quicker than everybody else.
So that's 2 now without reply.
Well, it's been an absolutely fabulous spell for them, and they're starting to look unstoppable. There could be more on the way.
Griezmann, well seen, saw that coming.
That was well played, well stopped.
And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it. Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attack...
Great hit! And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
Fernando Torres clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper.
And there's no surprise who's taking this corner. And he's gone looking for safety. And now they can spring out of defence. Now it's Griezmann. De Bruyne. Oh, Red, nice interception. And he thumps it clear. And it's Owen. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Oh, that just required a bit more oomph to reach its target.
The pressing's intense, and it's paid off.
That's alert and sharp and very well played.
Torres. Yildiz. And that interception was most necessary.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Mendes kept his eye on it, and he's there. Fernando Torres.
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
Looking for the run-up. That's going to go a long way. And again, they run up against stubborn defending. Hernes.
It's a decent chance to counter-attack.
That is good strength.
2 added minutes have been indicated.
Well, there's a probing ball. No, that's been intercepted. This is promising. And that's that. And so they have the outcome they desire. A dose of reality and quality, absolute togetherness, and the job is done. Well, they say football's only a game, but you should try telling this lot.
Hello,
Without a doubt, it is the week's most eagerly awaited contest. A sporting event which has magnificent scenery as its backdrop. It is tribal, and it has aroused the most primal of instincts in so many of us. And we are glad to have you alongside us for it. And the matchday noise at this place is truly special. The pride, the passion, it adds to a massive sense of occasion. Now it's Griezmann. Maradona. Beckenbauer cuts it out. Adams kept his eye on it, and he's there. So, Jim, tell me this. Who are you looking for in particular here?
Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne. He's just one of the best strikers of the ball you ever see. And that applies just as much to his passing game as it does.
Mateus! Oh, denied brilliantly!
Mateus clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper.
And we have our very first corner. Adams clears it away. And now they can spring out of defence. Batistuta. Maradona. Batistuta. It's Maradona! And he looked every bit the assured keeper there.
Maradona actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest. Size really matters, and it's time to make it matter now.
Up he goes! And he's taking no chances there. Oh, hits one! Ernest. That is good alertness. Still goalless at the moment. And it's Owen. Van Dijk. Good play on the left-hand side here. He won't be happy with that one. Owen. Possession football, Jim, we're seeing plenty of it. What is it, though, that really makes it work?
Well, for me, what makes it work...
Batistuta! Oh, that wasn't far away. Mateus. Ernest. Rummenigge. Owen. Well seen. Saw that coming.
That's great positioning. So good from him.
Nice ball. Rummenigge! Well, now it's a race for the ball. Can he finish? And that has earned a few nods of approval from the bench. It's their second corner of the game. He's got full. Well, that is remarkable.
All he'll be thinking is, please, ground, swallow me up.
Bellanova. And he was quick to react. Rummenigge.
There will be 1 minute at a time.
And we've reached half-time. Well, it has been a half largely of could-haves and should-haves. Perhaps the more impatient amongst the supporters will feel they're overdue a goal, but it's certainly not for the want of trying, so nothing to show as yet. At the break, it's 0-0. And we are up to the break.
What an end to the half, Peter. A lot of the best action of the half coming at the very end, and I get the feeling the second half may well start in similar fashion, as we'd love to see this momentum maintained. So I'm looking forward to what's to come.
And after 45 minutes, it is still goalless. A change perhaps after half-time. And if you're just back from your break, you've missed very little of the resumption of the second half.
Well, both sides are eager to get going. Here's hoping that it's a good sign. Things are about to change. We need a little more life in this.
Decent hit! Big moment! Massive goal!
Dependability is one thing, and he brings that to his game. But that sort of dynamism is another attribute he's blessed with, and it's revealed on a regular basis too. Superb.
That was easy. Almost too easy. Ah, he's given it away.
Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack. Well, that was well positioned and well pitched. They can't hurt with their backs to goal.
Brilliantly cut out. And he has slightly undercooked that one.
Look, the game is full of ifs and buts. If only the pass could have completed its journey.
And it's De Bruyne. Bout of passing here, really easy on the eye. Now this could be a chance. Owen? Sergio, what are you thinking?
Well, the time has arrived to start taking risks. They may well be happy just to level this.
Substitution.
Buriram United choosing to make the first change.
Yeah, I think he's been told to play that role of the tactical pivot, spraying the ball about sometimes, driving it forward from the middle of the park.
That is a great pick out. Mbappe! Oh, what a climb! Harmlessly behind.
Substitution in progress.
Buriram United making another change here.
Yeah, they're looking for some imagination, and his job's going to be to add that element of craft and guile, the man pulling the strings.
Now it's Griezmann. Picked out brilliant. It's Griezmann!
Well, there's plenty to like about this approach. Get your head down, keep battling away, and eventually things might change for you.
Final ball not quite right, and his teammates are irritated at that. Maradona. Mbappe.
I think it's time for them to concentrate on closing this one out.
Out for a throw.
Substitutions taking place.
Wilshere. And it's
Added
Maradona.
minute has been indicated.
Time added on 4 minutes. Oh, and the shot! And he hits the net. And there's the goal they've been looking for. That really is quite fabulous. All his own doing.
Yeah, that's what the game is all about. Excitement and entertainment. What a lovely moment.
Two up and very little time left. Surely this is it.
Well, that's a really bitter blow. I think it's going to be very hard for them to find the character to respond from that.
It's a good spell of possession, this. So that's it. It is all over. Well, that was a frustrating game. They were, at times, cohesive, very capable. Well, they say football's only a game, but you should try telling this lot. Without a doubt, it is the week's most eagerly awaited contest. A sporting event which has magnificent scenery as its backdrop. It is tribal, and it has aroused the most primal of instincts in so many of us. And we are glad to have you alongside us for it. And nobody in this atmosphere can hide from the truth about how much this game matters. The scene overflows with colour and passion. Well, if you did just miss it, we are up and running already. Owen.
Well, Peter, here we have one of the greatest defenders of all time, Alessandro Costa Curta.
Yeah, in a sense, understated, isn't he? Oh, that is very close.
That's a great effort. There was very little backlift to indicate what was coming.
Alexander-Arnold. And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Rummenigge. Played back in. Ernest. Rummenigge. Messi. Good running, strong and purposeful. Nunez! A real chance and a real let-off.
Okay, it's come to nothing, but it's a warning of further threat on the break.
Messi. That's a lovely, neat pass. Tries to dink it through. Oh, that's a fine interception. Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai! Good try. The outcome could so easily have been different.
Well, even for him, that may have been a touch ambitious.
Szoboszlai. Oh, this is a terrific run. Nice control. Szoboszlai! So we're still where we started right now. And here's Nunez. Szoboszlai. Deftly done. Chance for the header! And he was there to get a vital touch.
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played.
Madrid with the corner. They're first. That is a brilliant interception. And now they can spring out of defence. Well played. That has snuffed out the danger. 30 minutes gone. Ernest. Great ball if he can get there. Madrid applying the press here, a high press.
Yeah, we see this so often these days, but it does demand an awful lot of work rate and, of course, the discipline, because it has to be with everyone. It can't be with one or two. If that starts happening here, it'll just fall away.
Yeah, there are so much of them, but of course, the returns can be terrific. Oh, what has happened here? Oh, smashing header! He scored!
Look, there are always tactical adjustments for any coach to make at half-time, but when your star man gives you a critical lead just before the break, everyone will be paying extra attention. It really is the ideal tonic. Yeah, they've only got themselves to blame. Mistakes in those areas are very punishable.
2 minutes has been
Madrid
indicated.
have taken the lead.
Well, I think the managers are going to have to scrap whatever they had in mind for the half-time team talks. One has got to tone it up now, and the other has to tone it down.
And there's the whistle for half-time. Steady, solid, and for now, where they want to be. Just one goal, and they have it. Good effort from both sides, but at half-time, it is 1-0.
Yeah, you don't get any points for stating the obvious, Peter, but thankfully this is still very savable. Keep things simple, keep the intensity high, and hope for an early goal. If that happens, it's a game.
Has a goal! Nunez gets flagged offside. Mateus. Oh, a delicate chip through. Conceição providing an outlet on that flank. Terrific header! In for a header! Well, he should have done better, and he knows it.
That is a really good chance missed, Peter. Certainly the way he's been playing.
Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. Alexander-Arnold. And he has slightly undercooked that one.
Quality deserted them when they really needed it.
Rummenigge. They've got to be quick to recover this.
The attendance for this match was 71,898.
And here's Griezmann. Oh, shooting chance! Goal! They have grabbed themselves an equaliser.
Oh, listen, the writing was on the wall. It looked like this was going to happen, and it has.
And that has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Well, this is to be expected, Peter. When you've got two strong teams of fairly equal standing, the outcome should all come down to finishing.
Well, that had the makings of something quite promising, but it's fizzled out into nothing. And here's Nunez. Mateus did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. And the keeper's got it again. That'll be a throw-in.
Substitution on the field. Number 19, Francisco Conceição. Number 14, Kostic. Number 30,
Beckenbauer.
Messi. Number 8,
And it's
Soboslai.
Owen.
Number
Now
20,
Griezmann. And
Darwin
he welcomes it
Núñez.
in.
Coming on the field.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the commitment. This game could yet yield a winner.
Roberto. Number 7, Palmer. Number 6, Pedri. Number 9,
Alexander-Arnold.
Adriano.
Mateus. Rummenigge!
Yeah, that's top defending and preventing him turning, which can open up many possibilities.
That was good pressing, forced the error to put an end to it before things could get even more threatening. Pedri. And they're quick to get it back. Pedri. Adriano. Palmer! Oh, it's in! And that may just do it! That is glorious, as if he picked it up and put it there himself.
Yeah, and it's not a surprise to see him elect to shoot from there, considering how much movement can be generated on the ball. Great hit.
Madrid take the lead. Now it's just a question of holding on. That's that, the end. Well, this was a game they could so easily have won on another day, but alas, that wasn't to be, and they go down by the odd goal. Your reflections then, Jim? Well, there's no doubt that this is a game which holds a special place in the minds of the footballing folk in this part of the world. Expectations rising, evidently the crowd hoping to be treated to a special contest. It is the perfect backdrop for the players to walk out to. And we have in front of us this gloriously imposing arena, absolutely perfect for a game of this nature. We have already started here. Gets his pass away. Neymar finds himself unceremoniously floored. That's really well manoeuvred. David Villa, Batistuta. Alessandro Costa-Curta, who doesn't have what you call a classic centre-back physique, does he?
No, but his game is never really about athleticism, power and the physical stuff. He never has to let it be.
Well, it's interesting because he's still become considered one of the greatest defenders of his time. How's that?
Well, it's characteristics like leadership, his class, his tenacity. He's nigh on perfect.
He rises! Went with his head, but couldn't steer it in. And here's Owen. Mateus. Well, now it's a race for the ball. Kimmich. It's Griezmann! That's a half-decent try.
Well, that's confidence for you. Distance doesn't even bother him.
Cafu. So it is still 0-0. And that interception was most necessary.
He read that.
Rummenigge! That was superb goalkeeping.
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure.
And we have our very first corner. Cleared without hesitation. In with a header! And he has kept it out somehow.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
And it's Owen. Pirlo.
We're seeing some really good pressure being applied here, Peter, particularly from those guys up front.
Yeah, and it just, I suppose, Jim, denies the others time and space. Climbs up big!
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
Rummenigge. Ernest. David Villa. Still waiting for the first breakthrough, but not for the want of trying. Neymar. Oh, great ball! And the shot! There it is!
Well, players of his stature just live for moments like that. Another really important contribution as we near half-time, and it can make such an impact on each mindset.
Just so calm under pressure, and he managed to fashion a fine finish.
Batistuta demonstrated great strength there. I mean, he really had to hold his man off and just create enough room for him to be able to get the shot away. And I think it's just top play.
So the first goal of the game.
Well, I think the manager...
Oh, fine. And we hit half-time. Half which has simmered along nicely, warming up to what may be a more open second half to follow.
Yeah, you don't get any points for stating the obvious, Peter, but thankfully this is still very savable. Keep things simple, keep the intensity high, and hope for an early goal. If that happens, it's a game changer.
And we are back on the Rummenigge! Neymar. Rummenigge has a shot! Oh, that is outstanding! He's got himself an absolute peach. They have come roaring back.
And it's another really good show of character. I love the spirit and togetherness they muster. Never know when they're beaten. Look, there just wasn't much of a gap to begin with. And a header!
Just couldn't turn it in.
Well, it really shouldn't be allowed to happen again. It needs to be dealt with at source.
David Villa.
Mission 1 has been accomplished, so why not continue with the same approach?
He's cut it out. Kimmich. And he thumps it clear.
The attendance for this match was 70,987.
Ernest. And it's Owen. Griezmann. Rodri does really well there. Strong defending. Pirlo. David Villa. And here's Cruyff. Cruyff is flagged offside. Adams. Rodri. Cafu. Whistle goes again. It's another offside decision. Griezmann. Rummenigge. Now it's Owen. Oh, terrible pass. Can he finish? Just off target.
Yeah, it's good movement though. A bit unlucky he couldn't actually steer it goalwards.
Ernest. And it's Owen. Oh, well played, well sorted out.
Well, they deserve an awful lot of credit for their commitment to the cause, but it's a goal credit that would be most welcome now.
It's Neymar! Magnificent! Oh, it really is a finish of the highest order. And they get themselves in front. A moment that needed composure, and he had plenty of it.
Ah, that's just clever. He made the keeper think he was going one way, only to outfox him by going the other. Very nice.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for.
Yeah, it's been their hard work that has got him this league, but I just wonder whether they can keep it up. This may take a toll now.
Neymar. Great position here. Shot a goal!
I think it's time for them to concentrate on closing this one out.
Added minute has been indicated.
Into stoppage time, whistle due any moment. Rummenigge, a true great in every sense of the word. And there goes the final whistle. Well, this was a game they could so easily have won on another day, but alas, that wasn't to be, and they go down by the odd goal. Well, hello and welcome one and all. It's a pleasure to have you with us. As you can see, we are all set. The game should be a truly entertaining one, whichever side of it you find yourself on. We have a grand mass of noise and colour, and the juices are flowing. This place is living up to its reputation as one of the noisiest corners of the footballing world. No decibels spared in this collective chorus. And the finish! Oh, that is really good tenacity. And we have our very first corner. And now a sudden chance to counter. Pedro Neto. He's got full. And he's following up. Goal! Milan! And Milan have the lead. It is a good finish. The odds were against him. Little matter.
Kubo demonstrated great strength there. I mean, he really had to hold his man off and just create enough room for him to be able to get the shot away. And I think it's just top play.
So, a breakthrough already. Rummenigge. Now it's Owen. Look at the space here. And that's a foul. A simple decision for the referee. Just a talking to, I think. Yes, it is. Nicked it back promptly.
Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should resort to risk-taking at this stage. There's plenty of time left yet.
And that's put paid to a promising move. Bumps him off it and wins back the ball. And he's intervened well there. Szoboszlai. Oh, that's a key interception. Szoboszlai is offering some sort of an apology there.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
Shot a goal! It's in! They are right back in business.
Well, that's something that'll make the manager proud, because they dug in deep then and they've got their leveller. Look, there just wasn't much of a gap to begin with, and to find it, I think it was a fine drive, and I don't think the keeper could have really planned for that. I think he's a bit unlucky in that instance.
Pedro Neto! Oh, just lacked a decent finish.
Milan were again presented with an opportunity to break and looked very, very threatening.
And he's quick to snatch it back. And he's managed to get free. He's tried one! Oh, that is outstanding! He's got himself an absolute peach. And the comeback is complete.
Perhaps deserves a little bit of sympathy here, because that's a goalkeeper's nightmare. It's clear that the keeper was unsighted by his defence, and by the time he picked up the flight of that, it was too late.
Owen! Good run, lovely take, but that is where it stopped.
Owen deserves a lot of credit for his willingness to make those runs. The passers will always have an option with him.
And now they can clear their lines. Rummenigge. Busquets spots it and intercepts. Now it's Immobile. No, that's been intercepted. He's looking to set free a runner.
There will be 3 minutes at a time.
Griezmann. Pedro Neto. No messing about, just bludgeoned away. And we've reached half-time. Well, what a comeback. Certainly I didn't see that coming, nor I think did many in this crowd. So we reached the halfway point.
Well, Peter, I'm just thinking of the best way to describe that. Frantic,
celebrating their
frenzied.
birthdays today.
It was unmissable and it was irresistible. Forget about the analysis on this one, just enjoy it.
Very little in it. The score at half-time is 2-1. Here we go again then. That looks a cracking ball. Szoboszlai. Pedro Neto. Oh, there's a probing ball. Milan applying the press here, a high press.
Yeah, we see this so often these days, but it does demand an awful lot of work rate and, of course, the discipline, because it has to be with everyone. It can't be with one or two. If that starts happening here, it'll just fall away.
Yeah, and there are so much of them, but of course, the returns can be terrific. Szoboszlai. Oh, good ball! Oh, shooting chance! He has done it! They've done it again! It is incredible!
Exactly what you want to see from your players. Courage, fight in the face of adversity. You couldn't ask for much more.
Perfect placement, the one place the keeper couldn't reach.
He weighed up the landscape, Peter, and he stuck it bang in the corner.
72,306.
Quite a thriller this one's become.
Yeah, it's a very good contest with two very good sides, and with such great individual talent on show, it could go either way.
Rummenigge. Oh! Fantastic! About as smooth as it gets. And they're back in front. The breakaway clinical and clean, and the finish unerring.
That's just brilliant counter-attacking football, and as soon as possession was theirs, it triggered a move of devastating speed that was just too hot to handle.
Substitution for Milan. Number 13.
Milan choosing to make the first change.
Ciro Immobile.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for.
22.
Kimmich. And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
Adams.
Milan have their second corner now. He gets big. He scored. And once more, we are all square. You score, we score.
Yeah, and analysis of the goal should take a back seat to the importance of a committed reaction. This is wonderful to watch.
Great corner, and he did the rest.
He did so well there, attacking the ball the way he did. He got a strong forehead behind that one.
And very quickly, the substitute. Can he finish? They've done it! Into the lead once more. So we have a breakthrough. Now how will things develop from here? Rummenigge. Well, that is one way to stop him. Pedro Neto. Shot. Can he finish? It's a goal! They're level in a trice.
Yeah, since going a goal down, they've dug in to produce a really fine spell, which for me deserved that equaliser. Milan clearly executed that with considerable confidence. It only took seconds to score once the ball was recovered.
So all square, and not for the first time.
Oh, I think the coach will really be annoyed with that. The players were still thinking about their goal and just got caught napping. You wonder if that's it now, but there may be one more opportunity, Peter, for a late steal here.
Oh, important interception.
Well, that was well positioned and well pitched. They can't hurt with their...
And Owen! That's a half-decent try.
Oh, certainly could have and should have made more of that.
Substitution for Milan. Number 37.
Final checks on the touchline. A change about to occur.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes...
Rummenigge! A wonderful effort, all by himself.
Well, we can't question the quality of the run. He'll have to answer for the rest.
Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. What a game, a contest of ferocity and marvellous talent from... So the wait is over, we can finally get going. Welcome to everybody who has joined us for this unmissable game. Hugely anticipated, hugely hyped. Undoubtedly the place to be at this moment in time. Well, the pre-match build-up has been fantastic. Now, the game itself. Got a shot away! Oh, terrific save from the keeper.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
Rummenigge. Nice interception. His positioning was spot on. Now it's Messi. And it's Bergkamp. Now that's well seen too. Rummenigge. He won't be happy with that one. Now it's Owen. And they're back on the ball again. He rises! Oh, just needed a better contact.
Well, the manager clearly has to react to this and tactically change what's happening. It's too easy for them to get in. Tony Adams is the standout player, Peter.
He does stand out, Jim, of course, but specifically how?
Because he's a colossal presence who seems to thrive the tougher the job gets. His level of commitment is an inspiration for everyone to follow.
Closest thing to a manager on the pitch.
Can't argue with that.
Danger averted for now. There's some great running on show here, but ultimately there was no way through.
That appeared to be an inevitable outcome. Too much traffic.
Pass somewhat off target and smartly reclaimed. And it's Griezmann. Kimmich. That could spell trouble. And he's straight offside. No change to the score, 0-0 it remains. Half an hour played now. Ernest. Bastoni promptly onto that, and that is that. Bergkamp. No, that was never going to make it. Bastoni makes the interception. A goal here just before half-time could mean a great deal. And here's Bergkamp. No, that's been intercepted. Beckenbauer. Mateus. And it's Owen. Ernest. He has found a way through. Real chance! Oh, that was a brilliant save.
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played.
And we have our very first corner. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Kimmich. Shot a goal! And now they can spring out of defence.
There will be 1 minute.
Oh, super find. Serginho. And there is the half-time whistle. As if we needed reminding, no easy games at this level, and that is proven here. Neither side any further forward from where they were 45 minutes ago, but it is far from lethargic, far from slow, highly engaging, but goalless. The midway point of the game.
What an end to the half, Peter. A lot of the best action of the half coming at the very end, and I get the feeling the second half may well start in similar fashion, as we'd love to see this momentum maintained. So I'm looking forward to what's to come.
Still waiting for this to take off. It's goalless at half-time. And we are back on the way. So the first half brought no goals.
Yeah, it looks like a change of approach, and it may just freshen things up.
Serginho. That's a shade optimistic. And it's Owen. Up towards the hour mark, and still no goals. Messi, he's gone for goal! He would have been quick to recover this. And he's there to belt it away. Varela. And here's Cavani. Now the finish! It's in! Oh, delicious. Such devilish curl.
Yeah, and it's not a surprise to see him elect to shoot from there, considering how much movement can be generated on the ball. Great hit.
So the first goal of the game.
Well, when the going gets tough, etc., they can still turn this round, I think.
And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Yildiz. Well seen. Saw that coming.
That was well played, well stopped.
And it's Owen. And he cuts out the supply.
Well, it's good stuff. This is better.
This is a really front-footed approach.
I think they just have to keep forcing the issue and they'll get clinical.
Your impression so far, Jim?
Look, they may be one down, but they're not shying away. Time is on their side, and they're set on using it.
Now it's Messi.
Lamine Yamal really added the width there, thanks to his willingness to make the run.
And he's gone looking for safety. And that's been won straight back.
There's a real appetite from them to finally put this game to bed, but will they?
Barella. Keep the ball and you win the game. It really is that simple. Bastoni. Oh, good read.
That's great positioning. So good from him.
At a time.
And the referee brings it to a close. Quite a game, and one that was always on a knife edge until the very final whistle. No shortage of endeavour, effort at times. So the wait is over, we can finally get going. Welcome to everybody who has joined us for this unmissable game. Hugely anticipated, hugely hyped. Undoubtedly the place to be at this moment in time. And the matchday noise at this place is truly special. The pride, the passion, it adds to a massive sense of occasion. If you're just joining us, we are already underway. It's a promising position. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. No, that was never going to make it. Now it's Bellingham. Now that looks a decent ball. Beckenbauer promptly onto that, and that is that. And here's Bellingham. And he's intervened well there. Oh, he's through the middle. And it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
Well, there is a look that says it all. A piercing stare.
The movement was good, but the pass lacked authority.
Oh, he's following up! Goal! Arsenal! Bellingham duly reaps his reward, kept his cool whilst the defence lost their bearings.
Well, I admire players who do that because they just don't give up on anything.
Number 5.
So we have the first goal.
Well, I guess this ought to make things interesting, Peter. No doubt the opposition will now be forced to play a more open and riskier game. Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should resort to risk-taking at this stage. There's plenty of time left yet.
That's been intercepted.
That was well played, well stopped.
Now it's Owen. Owen. Oh, good read.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Has a go! It's there! And once more, we are all square. You score, we score.
Yeah, and analysis of the goal should take a back seat to the importance of a committed reaction. This is wonderful to watch.
After 26
What about the
minutes
pass,
is
Peter? It was played so
number 11.
intelligently and he picked out the perfect target.
That has certainly made things interesting.
Oh, I think the coach will really be annoyed with that. The players were still thinking about their goal and just got caught napping.
Beckenbauer spots it and intercepts. Busquets, that's really well manoeuvred. Pernis. Rummenigge, and he was quick to react. Rummenigge is offering some sort of an apology there. Oh, Bellingham! And that's what you call inspired goalkeeping.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
Arsenal with their first corner, the first in the game for either side, actually. Platini plays it short. Rummenigge, a player of legendary status. And now a sudden chance to counter. Rummenigge. Bellingham. Now the finish! Well, now it's a race for the ball. Oh, he's been caught napping. A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. About this contest, Willing running on one side, not in defence on the other. Now it's Bale. That's an excellent interception. And he's managed to get rid. Here's the whistle for half-time. So half-time, and it is all square. Neither able to pull away from the other, but that is not due to any shortage of effort on either side. It's a goodish game, this, and at half-time, it's one each. Some first-half thoughts?
Well, we thought this would be close, Peter, and it's proving us right so far. They're well matched, and it presents a fascinating battle of wits to see who'll emerge on top or otherwise.
So both teams heading off for the break. An interesting game has brewed up here, hoping perhaps for a little bit more from both parties in the second half, but the score at half-time is 1-1. And we are already promptly back underway. Oh no, that was never going to make it.
We're seeing some really good pressure being applied here, Peter, particularly from those guys up front.
Yeah, and it just, I suppose, Jim, denies the others time and space.
Well, I would call it blanket suffocation. Every single player is committed to the press, and there's simply no way out.
He really is being given no time to think on the ball now.
Yeah, and they've got to be careful, Peter, that they don't allow their attempt to snuff out the threat now to turn into a discipline.
The match was 72,306.
Seedorf providing an outlet on that flank. Oh, what a climb! Goal! Arsenal! Into the lead once more. It was a great header. The invitation was irresistible and the finish unearned.
So well played, Peter. Did a great job keeping sight of the ball. Made a classic move and made it perfectly.
Substitution for Arsenal. Number 14.
Time then for the first substitution of the game.
Number 11.
So we have a breakthrough. Now how will things develop from here?
Number 9. Suarez.
Pernis.
Number 23. Kvaratskhelia.
Oh, nicely intercepted. Well, he was clearly disappointed with that pass.
Quality deserted them when they really needed it.
Kvaratskhelia. Petit. Van Dijk kept his eye on it, and he's there. Dinked through. Cleared without hesitation. Seedorf. Aimed beyond the defence. Dixon. Griezmann. Ernest. Rummenigge. Griezmann. Very much a man of this moment. Now Costa Curta. Rummenigge.
Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
The ball is loose and the chase is on. Now that's well seen too. 5 minutes left on the clock. And Owen! And yes, it's there! They have stolen level at the last! And that was as close to certain as can be.
Yeah, and I think we may have had too many defenders ball watching then because they just lost sight of the real danger.
Number 6.
So all square with almost no time remaining.
Credit where it's due. This is great attitude. Now the only question is whether there's enough in the tank to grab another.
Aim forwards. The final seconds now. Well played. That has snuffed out the danger. Dixon gets it away. And we're done. A good watch, more than a good watch actually, certainly from a sporting perspective. It lacks winner of course, but the crowd largely satisfied. So the wait is over, we can finally get going. Welcome to everybody who has joined us for this unmissable game. Hugely anticipated, hugely hyped. Undoubtedly the place to be at this moment in time. And expectations are rising and decibel levels are rising. The noises. He's having a go! Great effort, beautifully taken.
Owen brilliantly took control of that, which was exactly what the situation required.
Well seen, saw that coming.
That was well played, well stopped.
He's found a way through. It's Zico! He scored!
Well, they would have been looking at him to produce the goods, and that was very kind of him to oblige so early.
And wow, he has given that a right old hit. That was Rummenigge! What a hit! What a hit! A rocket and some! About as smooth as it gets. And the lead lost no time at all.
Well, if ever you want to see a lesson in responding to a deficit, that's it. Their heads didn't drop, and now their chins are up.
It was a great finish. He put it away with great poise, dead-eye accuracy.
He had the whole picture in his head, Peter. He didn't even look at the goalkeeper.
And that has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Oh, I think the coach will really be annoyed with that. The players were...
Rummenigge! Oh, the ball swept loose here. And he's going to be disappointed with that. Kimmich kept his eye on it, and he's there. Neatly clipped into space. It's a great hit! It's run loose. Who's going to get there?
Well, look, they know they've got a height advantage, and it's time for them to use it.
Cleared without hesitation. He's going for goal! And that is certainly not what he had in mind.
Look, it was achievable, Peter, but it needed his best.
And here's Zico. Belts one. I'll be a bit disappointed with that.
Oh, looked like he tried to give it some extra whip.
He won't be happy with that one. Getting on for a third of the way through the game. Mateus. Well, here's a man adored by many, even deified by some. Oh, good spread. Oh, well played, well sorted out. Passing is crisp and sharp. Now it's Owen. Has a shot! And again the keeper stands strong. Couldn't quite squeeze that one through. And he's intervened well there. Rummenigge. Pernis. Oh, it's Batistuta. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. And here's Owen. Has a goal! Chance again? No.
This is proving to be a very good spell. The intensity is great, but they've got to make it count.
And that has been cleared.
There will be 3 minutes.
Pernis! It's in! And the comeback is complete! And that is about as cool as they come. He picked his spot expertly.
That's expertly finished, and he's done that so often.
And that is going to be the final action of the first half. Oh, what a comeback. Certainly I didn't see that coming, nor I think did many in this crowd. And we are up to the break.
Well, give me a moment to get my breath back. What a super half of football. Incident-packed, goals, comebacks, and the match being turned on its head. Which way it's going to go from here, it's anyone's guess.
Very little in it. The score at half-time is 2-1. And the game has already resumed here. So both teams emerge the same as they were before the break. Kimmich spots it and intercepts. Mateus. Oh, it's a promising build-up, this. Plenty of really nice passing. Milan trying to orchestrate a breakaway here by the looks of it.
Well, I would say that this is probably the easiest way.
Tries a shot! And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
Zico actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
That's really well
The
cleared.
attendance for this match was 71,000.
Milan appear to be happy to let their front players stay up front all the time.
Well, it's signalling to the opposition that they're setting themselves up for the counter-attack. It's plain and simple.
Rummenigge. And here's Owen. Rummenigge. Mateus. Well cut out. No margin for error there at all. Rodri. And it's Sané. That's really well manoeuvred. Nice interception. His positioning was spot on. It looked as though that might be... He's tried one! Oh, denied! Brilliantly!
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played.
Just about up to 75 minutes. Well timed, excellent interception.
There's a real appetite from them to finally put this game to bed, but will they?
And it's Sané. Batistuta, skillfully cut out. He is so at ease on the ball. Truthfully, it was hard to see any better outcome there. Well, that is one way to stop him. I think we're just about done here. Oh, he's done very well to take that back. Rummenigge.
I think it's time for them to concentrate on closing this one out.
And we're done. What a terrific response it was to adversity. What a fantastic game from those players. What unity, what joy.